I use a service that verifies whether or not a news outlet is legitimate, and the Pluralist is considered to be legitimate news, but I saw this headline and it made me very confused. Lena Dunham blames the patriarchy for making her lie to discredit abuser, accuser. I gotta use specific language on this channel. So hold on. Lena Dunham lied, and according to the Pluralist, she's blaming the patriarchy. So is the patriarchy like the invisible hand that forces you to do things? Or is it that within this regressive left sect, they do not believe that any woman, anywhere, for any reason, is ever responsible for her own actions? I mean, look at what happens when two people get drunk. If a guy and a girl get drunk and hook up, the guy abused the woman. If a guy gets drunk and the woman hooks up with him, the guy still abused the woman. Okay, let's read the story. Lena Dunham on Wednesday apologized to an actress whose allegations she last year tried to discredit, but said it was ultimately the fault of the patriarchy. Dunham, 32, who created, wrote, and starred in the TV series, Yeah Girls, an open letter to the Hollywood Reporter in which she admits to misrepresenting her knowledge of the claims to protect her former employee and friend. My word, does that mean that your friend Lena Dunham was abusing women and you lied to defend them? Why would you do something like that? So strange. There are few acts I could ever regret more in this life, Dunham said. I didn't have the insider information I claimed, but rather blind faith in a story that kept slipping and changing revealed itself to mean nothing at all. Later, in the essay though, she blamed the patriarchy for the whole affair, saying, "It's painful to realize that while I thought I was self-aware, I had actually internalized the dominant male agenda that asks us to defend it no matter what, protect it no matter what, baby it no matter what." Perrineau, who appeared alongside Jennifer Lawrence in Passengers, came forward last year to allege that in 2012, when she was 17 years old, Miller took her and some friends to his Los Angeles home, and later she woke with him on top of her, having intercourse with her. At no time did I consent to any adult contact with Murray, she said. Miller, a former producer on King of the Hill and American Dad who was 35 years old at the time, denied the accusations. The same day, Dunham and her co-showrunner Jenny Connor released a statement defending him and attempting to undermine Perrineau, because heaven forbid people like Lena Dunham, who are seemingly narcissistic egotists who have no moral compass, don't understand what believe women means. Because they'll love to wave the flag around saying believe all women until it's their friend or their power structure being threatened. This is the big problem, okay? Please. We all want a better world. We all want to make sure that people are not being accused falsely, that people are being abused wrongly. But when you claim to be the champion of the innocent, and then you will not adhere to your own rules of believing women, you are a hypocrite and your values mean nothing. And worst of all, people on the left prop this woman up and allow her to continue to do this. I feel like there are those of us who can see through the facade. We know full well that Lena Dunham is full of it, and she has no morals. She jumps on whatever gravy train she can. She says, "Oh, we must be feminists and believe all women because it's profitable." And then as soon as her friends are in danger, she says, "Oh, certainly not. Absolutely not." Why then should we believe these people? Why do you continually prop up these people? Please, Lena Dunham is not a good person. She says, "While our first instinct is to listen to every woman's story, our insider knowledge of Murray's situation makes us confident that sadly this accusation is one of the 3% of cases that are misreported each year. It is a true shame to add to that number, as outside of Hollywood, women still struggle to be believed. We stand by Murray, and this is all we'll be saying about the issue. Let me rephrase this for you. You mean to tell me that my friend is being accused by this woman? Hell no." That's what that's what she meant to say, right? Days later, amid widespread backlash, Dunham and Connor apologized for the statement. In August, the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office declined to file charges against Murray, citing the expiration of the 3-year statute of limitations and inconsistencies which cannot be overcome. Oh my stars and garters, is it entirely possible that the rhetoric you espouse of believe all women is dangerous because your friend was falsely accused and even the LA district attorney said the story was inconsistent, the inconsistencies could not be overcome, and so they declined to actually, I mean, it was beyond the statute of limitations for first. But even the DA said, nah, not here. How dangerous then? When you have this ideology that wants to do away with due process, that targets good people who've done nothing wrong. And how funny is it then? When you, Lena Dunham, prop up this narrative and this regressive ideology, and then it comes back to bite you and your friends in the ass. We can then see where your morals really lie. You don't believe anything you're saying. Still, Dunham's defense of Murray diminished her one-time status as a liberal darling and complicated her efforts to align with the Me Too movement against assault and harassment. Dunham has also struggled in other ways to meet the ever-shifting standards of progressive culture, requiring repeated denunciations and apologies on her part. That's true. Okay, I gotta do a break right here. We're halfway through, but Pluralist seems really biased, okay? I don't know what the official rating is. They're not perfect, but they definitely seem biased to me, though they get a good rating from NewsGuard, so I'm gonna allow it. They have this tweet from the 18th. When is it? Is this story from the 18th? No, the story's from today. I guess they took her tweet from the 18th to do the story. Indeed, in her apology Wednesday, Dunham, who has revealed she was assaulted in college, seemingly sought to use the language of Me Too to simultaneously indict and exculpate herself. On one hand, she averred not to be special because of my trauma, and chastised herself because she had walked around feeling like such a victim and never stopped, much less stopped to consider that I might be capable of traumatizing somebody too. The exact complaint I've always had about old white man artists. Okay, that was not necessarily relevant. And so I made a terrible mistake, she said. But she also detailed her own suffering at some length, saying, like so many women, so many people, I disguised my pain with medication and stuff and chronic overwork, very articulate, with social media and mindless dating and the random day-to-day drama we generate to stay out of our own experience. Near the end of the essay, Dunham declared her love for Pirano and her loyalty to the social justice movement. I love you. I will always love you. I will always work to right that wrong, she said. In that way, you have made me a better woman and a better feminist. Now, let's point out a few things. For one, I'm pretty sure Lena Dunham falsely accused the guy. I don't have the story pulled up. I could be wrong. Please fact check this. But I'm pretty sure she claimed some dude did something to her in college. She didn't name the guy, but she described him. Everyone knew who she was describing, and that guy sued her, and apparently they settled. I don't know. Again, fact check it, Google it. But she's been accused of lying. I also want to point out, one thing I love to cite in most of these videos about far-left politics and the right is the Hidden Tribes study. It was in my main channel video today. I did a big video on it because we know that progressive activists are 8% of the US population, and they tend to be wealthy or upper middle class white people, which perfectly explains Lena Dunham and her lack of a moral compass. She is a wealthy, silver spoon white woman who claims to be about social justice and all of these values, when in reality, she is a condescending liar who will just play whatever game she thinks she has to play. You know what, I'll say this? I feel like Lena Dunham is kind of like a left-wing Milo Yiannopoulos, right? Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, screw you, they like Milo, yeah, whatever. Milo's a very provocative, flamboyant person. I'm not trying to equate them based on whether or not they're telling the truth or not. I'm trying to say that from a standpoint of their notoriety and personality, Lena Dunham is like, this is not my quote. I'm quoting someone else, I can't remember who. Lena Dunham is like nails on a chalkboard to the average American. She is a wealthy, privileged white woman who thinks she knows best. She's going to claim she fights for social justice, she fights for women's rights, she's going to accuse some other man, and then, when it's her world that's facing the brunt and requires the right of due process, what does she say? Oh, well, of course we deserve due process. Unfortunately, this woman who worked on my show or whatever, I don't know, I think she worked on her show, this young woman was part of the 3% of false accusations. Well, that number's way off. It's actually, I think the actual statistics are something like 3 to 12% or 3 to 10%. And actually, when you analyze it, we just don't know. We don't know how many legitimate claims are legitimate, how many fake claims are fake, and how many in between. We have a general understanding of how many are convicted, how many people are convicted for these crimes. But to say it's one of the 3%, she's playing this game. I'll tell you, why is she issuing this apology? Probably because she's seeing her brand in decline, and said, ooh, I shouldn't have done it in the past. I know. I'll generate attention for myself, and stupid YouTubers like Tim Pool make a video about it so that I can get way more attention for the things that I do and just generally be an awful person who gets paid to be awful. And you understand I'm criticizing myself for... Look, I get it. You know, when I make outrage videos, when I'm angry and critical of the people who do these things, I am no fan of Lena Dunham. I think she's a very awful person. She's a hypocrite. Look what she does. But it does give him attention. However, I'm not the deplatforming type. I think if someone does something bad, you should talk about it. You know, I made a video. I'm doing another video later today, so stick around. It's gonna be about Milo. Actually, I think it's the next video. And I don't believe deplatforming makes sense. I think it's wrong. And as much as the left tries to claim that deplatforming works, what was bad for Milo was actually the fact that he was platformed and he said something he shouldn't have, and it lost him support. And that's what we're going to talk about now. So stick around up on my channel. This video should be up now, in a few minutes, or maybe it's up now. Milo's deplatforming and the hypocrisy of those who seek further deplatforming. Stick around.